Rig Crew, and welcome to our 15-minute full body flow. Today we're going to start by just standing in an upright position, reaching for the sky, getting a little stretch through the abs and the arms. Then we're going to fold forward for a nice hamstring stretch, breathing and relaxing and letting ourselves fall into position. After sitting there for a little bit, we can roll all the way up and back to standing and reaching overhead. Make sure that when you roll up, you're rolling one spine at a time, slowly taking your time and breathing out. Take a huge breath back in, fall forward, and feel that stretch through the hammies as you walk yourself back and forth, increasing the stretch from one side to the other. Remember, take your time here, breathe, and be passive with the body. This is your time to relax. As you come up to standing, roll one spine at a time, relaxing, becoming mindful of where you are, reaching for the sky. Taking your time, it is only you here. Let's bring the hands together and start rolling the wrists. Do a few rolls one way, and when you're satisfied, roll the opposite way. And reach out, grab your hands from the opposite sides, fold all the way in and back out, and just as far as you're comfortable with. Breathing the entire time, and again being passive with the body. In through the nose, out through the mouth. We'll get a few shoulder rolls in, shrugging up and around, trying to increase that range of motion each time you go around. Take a second here and adjust yourself. We're going to move the stance a little bit wider now and start just rolling side to side, elongating the bend each time. And we'll start adding a reach in, feeling that stretch come all the way up the side of the body through the armpit. Staying nice and tall as we switch sides, rolling down the leg, reaching out as far as we can, keeping the chest open. Falling forward, reaching for both feet and sweeping from side to side. Remember to take as much time as you need here. This is for you, right? If you need a couple extra times rotating from side to side because you're getting a good feeling with that, please take your time and fulfill those wishes of your body. Next, let's go ahead and drop into a downward dog position. And we can pedal through those heels a little bit, get a little stretch through those calves. And we're going to step forward towards our hands into a squat position. We're just rocking back and forth here, and we're going to reach for the sky when we touch the opposite toe. Really getting a stretch through that thoracic spine. Take some time here. Really, really work on those hips, working back and forth, breathing, feeling the body, being intentional with your movements. It's really, really good time to get in touch. Really listening to the body and the feedback that it's giving you. Let's take both those hands, let's raise them above our head and stand straight up. And we'll do one more, reaching for the toes, pulling the hips down, raising the hands, and standing. Being mindful of our breathing the entire time. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Remember, with these body flows, this is all a personal journey. You have to do what feels good for your body and what you need at that time. So make sure you are listening to all the cues that it's telling you. Let's go ahead and drop back into a plank and get another cobra in, letting those hips drop to the ground, tilting our head back, really extending through the abs and letting those hips be passive and fall forward. Pop back into a downward dog, pedaling those heels back and forth again, breathing in sequence. Let's go ahead and step one foot up. Whatever foot you want to start with is fine. And let's reach opposite to this sky. And then we'll switch sides, getting a little rotation through the hips. Again, if you need to spend a little bit more time in each of these positions, right? Feel the stretch through the hip flexor, or maybe you're feeling it more in the front of the back. Take your time and breathe. Switch sides when you're ready, and take your time working through the positions. Good. Let's go ahead and drop down into a quadruped position. And let's get a few cat-cows going here. Remember, let's sync up the breathing with it. Right, we're breathing in as we drop towards the cow. And then going into cat, tucking our tailbone, bringing our chin to our chest, pushing that middle back as far as we can, extending towards the ceiling. And then switching, sticking out our tailbone, tilting our head back, and really getting that stretch through the abs in the back. I also like to throw in a little bit of side to side every once in a while, and that is definitely up to you and your preference. All right, let's fall back into our child's pose, reach out with one arm and thread the needle underneath, and then we'll reach for the sky. Take your time with these, and if you want to spend more time in the actual stretch or the rotation open, feel free. When you're done with one side, we'll hit the other. Make sure the body is feeling nice and balanced. Let's pop back into our downward dog. We'll pedal those heels back and forth just a couple more times to recenter ourselves. And we'll walk in to our hands and slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time until we're standing tall. Shake it out a little bit, take a couple breaths. Very nice job so far. Next, we're just going to play around with a little bit of movement here, as this is something fun I like to do every once in a while and challenge myself to keeping my feet planted on the ground and stand up and back down in crisscross. Just a little fun games and movement to keep those hips feeling good and lubed up. Another hip sequencing challenge that I like to try is putting my hips out or legs out in an S shape, keeping my chest nice and tall, and then rotating around to the opposite side, trying not to touch the ground or letting myself fall back. And with this, I'm just trying to listen to my body, feel my hips, see where the imbalances are, and see where maybe I need to take the rest of my stretching for the rest of my session, so I can enhance my movement. After I move through my more dynamic body movements, I like to get more into static stretching. So let's go ahead and get into a pigeon pose. And we're going to hold this for about 2 minutes. Okay. You can definitely keep your chest up high, or as you get more comfortable with it, you can crawl forward as long as you're staying square over the hip and bring your chest to the floor. Remember, the entire time we're relaxing, we're breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, and staying passive with our body, relaxing, not forcing ourselves into the position, but relaxing into the position and letting gravity do its work. Take your time here, breathe, and relax. This is your time. You may need to adjust your hips a little bit or your hands to find a little bit more of a comfortable position, and feel free. As you slowly come out of position, remember, take it easy. Puts a lot of stress on those ligaments and joints and tendons. Slowly switch sides and right into the next pigeon. Again, aligning your hips straight over, square with the ground. And as you're comfortable with it, going forward. And if you're not, staying with a tall chest is just fine. Be intentional with your breathing. When you're breathing in, make sure you are sending those breaths deep into the body, to all those spots that are throwing up red flags. Listen to yourself, and if you need to adjust yourself because you're feeling something that's not quite right, feel free to come out of the stretch and adjust yourself. We want to be as comfortable as possible so we can be as passive as possible. Sending those breaths deep into the body, relaxing away, falling deeper and deeper. See if you can get your breathing to become deeper into your body. Longer inhales and longer exhales, reaching further and further. All right. Awesome job there. Proud of you guys for being able to sit for that long and really let your body open up. It will thank you later as I get the sand off of my face. All right. Let's come into a sitting position. And now we're going to work on pancake. So Instead of the outside hip, we're going to work a little bit more on the inside of the groin part of the hamstrings. Just working back and forth, getting myself a little limbered up. Just take a big deep breath and fall forward. Again, if you're comfortable here, just on your elbows. If you want to take it a step further, you can slowly reach out and fall your chest to the floor. Remember to talk to those tight muscles. Be intentional with your breathing. Send those breaths to the parts of your body. If you need to move your legs around a little bit, if you need to shake your ankles back and forth, flex your toes, maybe wiggle your upper body, anything to help yourself relax a tiny bit and get further into the range of motion. But again, not pushing and not forcing, but being passive and letting gravity do its job. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Relax. When you're satisfied, we'll slowly roll up, sitting with a vertical chest. We'll bring our legs in, and we'll continue through our day. I appreciate you all for joining me and being a part of the Rig crew. I hope you have a beautiful day, and you come back and visit another one of our stretching videos soon. Thank you.